Hi, I'm Ivan Carothers. I started dragon boating in 1999 through a friend. He said I should do this, go bat. I said, do what? He said, get in a boat and race it. I said, I can't even swim, so I'll get in a boat and race it. He says, oh, we're going to have 20 people on the team, and I can't be here, so you take the team. I said, okay, I can do that. I said, it's only an hour. So I'm canoeing for an hour. I thought, this is great, And then it turned out we didn't have enough paddlers. So they had gotten referrals from everybody who wanted to dragon boat, but nobody knew what dragon boating was. And so from there we just started it up. They said we couldn't race because we didn't have 14 paddlers, and that we couldn't race because we didn't have a coach. So I said, I can get 14 people to do this because it's fun. So I went and got the 14 people, told my boss, who had made a donation to help build a Kelowna team. I said, because we're going to have dragon boating in Kelowna, Kelowna needs a team that can give them some competition. And so they said, well, you make the team. I said, okay. So, but you need 14 people. So I said, I can get the 14 people after I talked to my boss. So my boss said he would sponsor it. So I just asked everybody, have they ever dragon boating before? And they said, everybody I talked to said, no, never heard of it. I said, well, we're setting up a team and we want you to be on that team because you're fit, et cetera, et cetera. And to get a coach, nobody had a coach. I said, I'm a coach. I can go and teach these guys how to paddle once I learn how to paddle. So that's what, since we didn't have a coach, they wouldn't let us out on the water. So the next week when we got the boats in, I said, okay, here we go. They said, well, you don't have a coach. I said, I'm a coach. They didn't specify you had to be a dragon boat coach. I'm a baseball coach, not a dragon boat coach. But so we got out in the water, and I just watched the other boats beside me. What did they do? And just try to mimic them. But it turned out these were the people we were going to have to race with. And so we have to learn how to do this very well. And we did. We did a fantastic job. Kelowna has some very good dragon boat teams. And they all work hard. They all have a lot of fun. And with the parents that usually just have their kids out there running and playing ball and playing soccer and everything else, now get a chance for themselves to go play ball. But it's not ball we're going to play. We're going to dragon boat. My very favorite one, we raced in Edmonton. I can't remember the year, but a few years back, and we had a race. Edmonton had a dragon boat festival, and we joined the festival. And on the last day, we're going down to race. And before we went, I went for breakfast with my brother, and he says, well, little brother, what do you think about what's going to happen today? And he says, because you can't win that race. I said, but I got 22 people that can win that race. And he says, well, if you just kind of look at what people are saying, they're saying, Kelowna is in competition. But they're a pretty good team, but it takes more than just being kind of a really good team. And I said, and they said Edmonton's going to win it. I said, not after today, they won't. So we went down to the race. And the interesting thing is it started to snow. And my stroke on that team was from Costa Rica. And she hated cold weather. After the race and stuff was over, she's moving back to Costa Rica. And so we get out at the start line, and we just did our race. We had our race figured out how we were going to do it. And then right at the end, in dragon boating, you have to really push hard because that's the finishing time. Everybody pushes harder in the last 10 strokes or 3 strokes or wherever your team have suggested to be. And so we were going to take ours, kept changing as we were running the race. And my stroke says, and she's not supposed to be talking, she says, let's win this race. She had a couple other words in there, but she said, let's win this race. And my brothers told me, he says, it was very interesting because what happened, he says, I don't know what you said to those girls, but whatever happened, we won it on 3 strokes. So that was kind of interesting for me, well, very interesting to me to see how the team would respond to at that last few minutes and how much they could give. But the little bit of time we had, we ended up winning the race. And nobody thought we were going to win it. And we had a number of races like that. We had it in Seattle, and we had it in Dublin, we had it in, even in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, we ran a race, and out of the 104 teams, I think, was in that race in Hong Kong. 204 in the festival. And we came in 5th on that 204. So that's just a game that everybody plays, and it's easy to do. You paddle to your best ability, and that's how it works. Dragon boating is good for everybody. If you think you'd like to try it but don't think you're a good enough paddler or anything, our job is to show you how to do it. So if you have 22 people, or if you have 1 person, and you want to go dragon boating, just get in touch with Kelowna Dragon Boat Paddling Society, and they would love to help you.